What's up, everyone? How you guys doing today? Man, I had to do this because I couldn't believe that a media organization actually went out there and defended clubs. Now, Sons of Anarchy is the biggest BS that there is. But all the other shows, Mayans, and a lot that comes out of Hollywood, and not this Hollywood, but the one in California, really get it wrong. And lately, myself, Black Dragon, we have been getting badgered by Vice TV wanting us to come on, talk about clubs, and Dragon had a perfect response to them. Mine is usually the middle finger with them because they do not want to actually do both sides of the story. They wanted to make it into a crime type of deal, which is kind of sad because if they played it right, they'd be able to get members, all that kind of stuff onto their shows. Now, after National Geographic screwed me, I'm like, yeah, never going to happen again. Never, ever going to happen again. You know, they do go out there and get people that have never been around this deal. They've asked myself and Dragon if we can hook them up with members of clubs to get them to go on. And it's like, no, dude, ain't happening. Uh, and I think the reason why a lot of people come to us for information is because they know we're not going to play that game. We're going to call balls and strikes down the middle, and we're not going to make clubs seem like they're something they're not. So I was really, really interested in this article about what they actually did get wrong. And that's coming up right now.
Ride or die, 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 fly. Know that they ride or die. Cody, brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep well by my side. CJ Ack, never gotta roll with ice. Cody, brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep well by my side. CJ Ack, never gotta roll with ice. Ride or die.
Rock on right there. Let's do this deal. And this is out of Ranker. And this, I couldn't believe that somebody actually put their foot down. Their title is Sons of Anarchy gets a shocking amount wrong about real California motorcycle, and they call it gang. So you had it so good going there, Melissa, who wrote this. And the first thing that comes out here, and even during the time the show was on, a lot of us creators would say, you know what? They're homicidal maniacs. That's just not the way clubs are. You know, if you look at Jax Teller, he would have been a serial killer. Uh, they agree with this. Sam Crow kills way more people than a real motorcycle club. Let's be frank, honest, to the point. The way that showed portrayed all those killings, organized crime don't even do that, okay? And MCs are not even in the same, level, atmosphere, whatever you would say, as organized crime. Just being honest, man. And I've talked about this, there's certain, see, with clubs, a lot of the people live off the past reputation of clubs when it was really pretty bad after Vietnam, 80s, 90s, when stuff was happening. But at the same time, it was only a few that would go out there and do that kind of stuff. And clubs live off that reputation. It's sad to say, I'm just being honest, man. That's what we do here, is be honest. So when you seen that many murders happening, that's outrageous. Clubs do not do that. Do they do stupid stuff like shoot in public sometimes? Yeah. But they never go to a level that, like it said here, there was over 153 people murdered in, let's see here, Sons of Anarchy Club Redwoods Original. There's no, you're lucky to get one every freaking 10 years or something. Going on, the initiation process is even more extensive than the SOA lets on. Now, one thing is you don't have to go around committing crimes like the prospect pictured it right there. They don't have you do that stuff. And that's a big fallacy that people have propagated all over the internet, on TV, is in order to get in a one percenter club, you got to commit a crime. That's bull. I know the one percenter clubs, you got to do your hang around time and you got to do your prospect time. You got to show you want to be in the club. That don't mean you go out and commit a crime. That's just BS. And can it be hard? Hell yeah, man. Sitting there as a prospect out there guarding a meeting or something and minus, 20 weather. Yeah, but it never gets as serious as they claimed in this show and other shows like Mayans and stuff like that. And you're right on this one. Gemma Teller would have been punished for her meddling. She is a woman, and usually women in any club now. Some clubs have changed. Okay, I'll just leave it there. Women aren't. They don't have a seat at the table. They do not have a say in a MC. Unless it's one of them mixed MCs where you have women and men, which I still can't get over, but I'm old. And I guess things are done different this day. Now, I'm not saying that about writing clubs or social clubs. I'm saying it about MCs in general. Women are not supposed to have a say. Problem with a lot of guys in the MCs now, they love that pillow talk stuff. They end up knowing any damn way. And what it does is cause friction and problems within the club because the old ladies, they just go smacking around with the lips. So you'll see a lot of problems within the scene. And quite frankly, a lot of the wars have you seen with the between these clubs started over a woman. Unbelievable, right? Let's see here. Most motorcycle clubs are more explicit in their racial bias. Uh, you know what? They could have a point, man. Where I came from, it was white boys were white boys, blacks were with blacks. Um, Hispanics, yeah, they were let in because of different type of prison standards that they went by. Some of these major clubs. I know some of the majors now are starting to loosen up on that. I may agree, disagree with that, but yeah, some clubs are hardcore out there still where you got to be a white boy. They won't even accept Hispanics in the club. Let's see here. Let's go to another one. The violence isn't wrong, it's just misplaced. Now, when you're talking about that kind of violence that you've seen in that show, you're way off. It does not get that violent. Now, in the US, over in Australia, the bikies, it's like they just use the colors to say they belong to some type of organization. They're involved in some hardcore smack over there in Australia. Uh, Come on. They're going around with $1 million freaking homes, bikes, all that kind of stuff there for show. And a lot of people in Australia tell you the same thing. It might be like that over here, but the violence that, say, you saw in Daytona, it's not all the time. And since they're really not into the organized crime stuff as a whole club, then you're not going to have the violence that you've seen in this show or other shows. Mayans went way over the top, if you ask me. Uh, Motorcycle clubs generally don't run adult film studios. Well, it depends on how the people within the club are in business. That is something I can dispute. You got a lot of entrepreneurial type of individuals within clubs that might own an adult film studio. That's just like tattoo studios. That is, until recent times, I think really up to 2005, that was the biker realm. Most bikers are the ones that own the tattoo studios, and that has changed a lot over the years. But businesses like that, or bars, escort stuff, adult film studios wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. Outsmarting the feds doesn't really happen, and that's true, because the feds have an unlimited amount of money that they're able to access, that there's a 99% chance you're going to be convicted, or 98, that you're going to be convicted of any crime. They just have too many tools at their disposal where you're not going to have that kind of outsmarting, if you will. And it goes on to say outsource more club business. Unless you're going back to, say, 80s, 90s, clubs ain't outsourcing anything anymore. If you know what I'm talking about. And they didn't spend enough time on their bikes. It was actually funny. I was talking about this on the other show. Motorcycle Madhouse, we do that Monday through Friday at 8 Central Standard on the other channel right there. The clubs don't spend that much time on their bikes. I was talking about the real bikers compared to who's the fake bikers. And if you actually look at it, club guys always look at others like, oh man, you're a rub, or you're not real. Dude, you're the one sitting on the bar stool. These people are out there riding their motorcycles, man, and they do a lot more miles than you do. That is a very interesting subject. I can go in a whole video about that, but they don't spend enough time riding their bikes, motorcycle clubs. And you can't tell me that I'm lying about that, because everybody who's ever been in a club can see that. You spend more time just sitting around talking about dumb stuff than you are out there riding and having a good time, which is what a motorcycle club is supposed to be. But I'm really thankful that they got that article out, because the mainstream media might be learning, huh? Anyway, Power and Betrayal, it's going to be out April 8th, man. Took a lot of work into that one. I was very blunt in that book, if you will. Learn a lot of good stuff. Don't forget, pick that up. It will be available on Kindle, which I think you to pre-order now. Paperbook, hard cover, as well as audio. So be on the lookout for it. Rock on. The streets raised me. Gangsters, motorcycle clubs, a life of power and betrayal. I rode with brothers, fought for respect, but death and prison were the price. Power and betrayal is my raw truth. Risks that cost lives. Freedom stolen behind bars, and I survived to tell. Power and Betrayal, available on Amazon or any other online book retailer. Ride the real story. Rock on. Join the insanity by becoming a member of the Insane Throttle Club. Get hundreds of members-only videos and hundreds of hours of members-only content. We have 3 affordable levels: Hang Around, Prospect, and Full Patch. Each level helps support each channel and all of our biker content. Get content of interviews with the who's who in the motorcycle and biker lifestyle scene. Subscribe on the Insane Throttle YouTube channel now and get access to the members only today and become part of the insanity.
It's an in-depth look at the trials and tribulations of street gang and motorcycle club life. This isn't the run-of-the-mill book that doesn't give the goods. This book will go into detail of events that actually happened. All materials in this book have been approved by those involved. There is nothing poetic, nor is there any price worth paying for the life we choose to live on the streets. James Hollywood Machikari, Brotherhood and Betrayal.
Rise and ride with the Madhouse Show, the #1 motorcycle, lifestyle, and biker podcast, tearing up Spotify and beyond. We're tackling biker issues, road battles, the rider laws, plus motorcycle events, daily news, and political fire. Tune in Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central on YouTube, Facebook, X, and all podcast platforms. Subscribe now for your daily dose of grit, guts, and the open road. The Motorcycle Madhouse Show, where bikers rule and the truth rolls hard. Rock on.